Devil May Cry 5. We all love hack and slash games. I mean, who doesn't love the thrill of just cheesing through the enemies like a fruit ninja? Sometimes you have an awesome sword, while sometimes you've got a fast-paced gun. The important stuff is that your main job is just to move forward by killing enemies in style. And that's when DMC comes in. The series will feel like your home if you're into catchy dialogues, awesome punchlines, and fast-paced intense combat. There are also some pretty great cutscenes that will keep you hooked. The reason 5th part is the best one is because of how well made it really is. The characters are refined in an amazing manner, and we also get to play all the major DMC protagonists. The game lets you play certain missions with Nero, Dante, or V. So, you're pretty much completing missions in a variety of movesets and different cutscenes. This way you won't get bored and will have an amazing blast experiencing different playstyles. Not gonna lie, no matter what the developers did or will do in the future DMC games, I will always love to play as Dante. For me, Dante is the definition of DMC. You can't spell Devil May Cry without mentioning the charm and awesomeness of Dante. He's the one holding the series together. Huge arsenal of weapons, Michael Jackson dance, catchy punchlines. You can't help but admire the guy. Finally, I think just for the sake of the hack and slash genre, you should definitely own the DMC series. Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4 is an absolute blast from start to finish, man. It's like being part of a huge summer blockbuster movie, but you're the one in control. The story is probably the best in the series. It dives deep into Nathan Drake's past and relationships, especially with his brother Sam, which adds so much more emotional weight to everything. It's not just about finding treasure anymore, it's about family, loyalty, and dealing with the consequences of Nate's past.
Hey, brother! Get closer! Try!
If we briefly talk about the basic features, then the graphics are top tier and the attention to detail is insane, whether it's the environments, the facial animations, or even the little things like how your clothes get wet or dirty as you explore. You will be surprised how stunning the game really is. The wide variety of environments makes the game engaging as you're not stuck in some random jungle. Uncharted 4 takes you on a journey across different places such as island, jungles, ruins, mansions. All this makes the overall experience quite fun, and you won't feel like leaving the controller. Now, let's talk about another fan favorite aspect of the game, the gameplay. You've still got those classic Uncharted action moments, big shootouts, crazy set pieces where everything's blowing up or falling apart around you, but there's also a lot of exploration and puzzle solving. The grappling hook adds a fun twist to movement and combat, and it gives you more ways to approach situations. Ghost of Tsushima. This is honestly one of those games that feels like an epic movie you get to control. The first thing that hits you is the sheer beauty of the island, those golden fields, cherry blossoms blowing in the wind, the sunrises that make you stop in your tracks. Visually, it's a masterpiece, and the environment totally pulls you in. But it's not just about looks, the combat is incredibly satisfying. You get the sense of being a real samurai, mastering different stances, dodging, parrying. Every fight feels intense, like a dance with death. Combat really is the strong point of Tsushima. We can execute a variety of moves with different stances and can even use the ghost weapons, which really gives the feeling of a ninja. Some of my favorite are the stealth takedowns, standoffs, and just seamlessly killing enemies in the ghost mode. Another best thing are the duels. Those one-on-one showdowns are like boss fights, but so grounded in reality. Each duel is this slow, tense standoff that could end in seconds, and it never stops being awesome. And let's not forget the exploration. The game does this clever thing where the wind guides you instead of a giant map marker, so it feels natural. You're constantly stumbling on hidden shrines, mythic quests, or just beautiful spots that make you pause for a moment to take it all in. Ghost of Tsushima is an experience. It's the kind of game where you lose track of time because you're so immersed in its world. Final Fantasy VII Remake. As someone who's played it, the first thing that hits you is how stunning everything looks. The graphics are top tier, especially in those cutscenes where you can just sit back and soak in the atmosphere. Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, all the characters you knew or heard of feel more real and alive than ever. If we talk about the combat, then it's such a satisfying blend of action and strategy. Even though I'm not big on turn-based systems, the remake does a great job of making it more fluid with real-time elements. You're not just sitting there waiting for your turn, you're constantly making decisions and reacting in the moment. Every fight feels intense, and using Cloud's gigantic sword or watching Tifa land a combo never gets old.
Is what a scoundrel might say, but I wouldn't dream of distressing y'all further. Just so happens one of our birds ran off the other day. Wild thing, but still a...
But the real heart of this game is its story. Even if you're familiar with the original, this version takes things in some unexpected directions while still delivering those key emotional moments. Sephiroth is the most iconic villain of all time. Even if you're not a fan of the series, you must know about Cloud and Sapphira. The music is final appreciation for the game. They've remastered all the classic tracks, and it just adds so much depth to the experience. Whether you're walking through Midgar or gearing up for a boss fight, the soundtrack hits you right in the feels.
Good old what's his face. Hallelujah. I hate doing cleanup, but I'm damn good at it.
Baldur's Gate 3.
The slave to forces you cannot come.
Alright, let's chat about Baldur's Gate 3, a legendary action RPG you need to experience. Developed by Larian Studios and released in 2023, this game is all about epic adventures and making choices that shape your story. You play as a hero caught up in a big, magical conflict. Imagine diving into a world full of magic, monsters, and mystery. The graphics are top-notch, making every location from dark dungeons to lush forests look amazing. The story is epic and lets you make important decisions. You can shape your character's path with the choices you make, which affect how the story unfolds. There are tons of interesting characters to meet and recruit to your party, each with their own unique stories.
Queen watches us. Fail her at your peril.
Combat in Baldur's Gate 3 is turn-based and strategic. You need to think carefully about your moves and use your abilities wisely. It's challenging but super rewarding when you figure out the best strategies. What makes Baldur's Gate 3 special is its depth and detail. The game feels like a living, breathing world where your actions matter. You can interact with almost everything, and there are endless ways to play and explore. For me, playing Baldur's Gate 3 is like being the hero in a grand fantasy adventure. The story, the characters, and the gameplay all come together to create an unforgettable experience. If you haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 yet, you're in for a treat. It's a must-play for anyone who loves RPGs and epic stories. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Alright, let's talk about The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, a legendary action RPG you absolutely need to experience. Developed by CD Projekt Red and released in 2015, this game is all about adventure, magic, and tough choices. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter searching for his adopted daughter, Ciri. Imagine exploring a massive open world filled with beautiful landscapes from dense forests to bustling cities. The graphics are stunning, making every location feel alive and immersive. The story is a huge highlight. It's deep and complex, with branching paths based on your decisions. You'll meet memorable characters, each with their own stories and problems. The main quest is gripping, but the side quests are just as engaging, often feeling like mini stories of their own.
Let her Chloe. Vampire.
Combat in The Witcher 3 is fun and challenging. You have swords, magic, and potions to help you take down all kinds of monsters. Each fight requires strategy and skill, making victories feel rewarding. What makes The Witcher 3 special is the detail and care put into its world and story. Every character, every quest feels meaningful. The game also has two fantastic expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, which add even more adventures.
Let me finish telling it.
Fallout New Vegas. Alright, let's dive into Fallout New Vegas, a legendary action RPG that you've got to experience. Developed by Obsidian Entertainment and released in 2010, this game throws you into a post-apocalyptic world full of adventure, danger, and tough choices. You play as a courier left for dead in the desert, out to find your attackers and uncover a bigger conspiracy. You exploring a vast wasteland filled with ruined cities, desert landscapes, and quirky towns. The graphics may be a bit dated, but the world feels alive and rich with detail. The story in Fallout New Vegas is fantastic. You're free to make choices that affect how the game unfolds. You can ally with different factions, each with their own goals and philosophies, or go your own way. The characters you meet are memorable, from quirky companions to powerful leaders. Combat is fun and varied. You have a mix of guns, melee weapons, and even some weird sci-fi gadgets. The VAT system lets you target specific parts of enemies, adding a strategic element to fights. What makes Fallout New Vegas special is its depth and freedom. The game lets you play how you want. Whether you're a hero, a villain, or something in between, the world reacts to your choices. There's also a ton of side quests and secrets to discover, making every playthrough feel fresh. For me, playing Fallout New Vegas is like stepping into a wild, unpredictable adventure. The story is gripping, the world is immersive, and the freedom to make your own path is incredibly satisfying. If you haven't played Fallout New Vegas yet, you're missing out on one of the best RPGs ever made. It's a must-play for any fan of the genre. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Alright, let's dive into Mass Effect Legendary Edition, a must-play for any RPG fan. Released by BioWare in 2021, this collection brings together the epic story of Commander Shepard and his crew in one amazing package. Picture this: you're exploring the galaxy, hopping from one star system to another, meeting strange aliens, and making decisions that affect the fate of the universe. The graphics have been updated, so the worlds and characters look better than ever. The story is what makes Mass Effect Legendary Edition truly special. You get to play as Commander Shepard, an intergalactic hero tasked with saving the galaxy from a looming threat. Your choices shape the story in big ways. Do you make friends or enemies? Do you follow the rules or break them? Every decision matters and impacts how the story unfolds. Combat in this game is a mix of strategy and action. You can customize your squad, choose your weapons, and use special powers in battle. It's all about finding the right balance and using your team's strengths to overcome challenges. What makes this edition stand out is the way it bundles together the original Mass Effect trilogy with improved graphics, better gameplay tweaks, and all the DLC. It's like getting a supersized version of an epic space opera. You get to experience the full journey of Shepard with all the highs and lows. For me, playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition is like diving into a huge immersive space adventure where you get to be the hero. The characters are memorable, the story is gripping, and the choices you make are incredibly impactful. If you haven't played it yet, you're in for a treat. This game is a must experience for any fan of epic sci-fi RPGs. Yakuza Like a Dragon. Alright, let's get into Yakuza Like a Dragon, a game that's an absolute blast from start to finish. Released by Sega in 2020, this one takes the Yakuza series in a new direction, and it's seriously worth your time. So, picture this: you're Ichiban Kasuga, a dude who's just gotten out of prison after taking the fall for a crime he didn't commit. Life's looking pretty rough until he gets tossed into the wild streets of Yokohama. It's like he's trying to start over, but the world's got other plans. What's super cool about this game is the shift to turn-based combat. If you've played the older Yakuza games, you know they were all about real-time brawling. But now, it's all about planning your moves and watching Ichiban and his crew pull off some seriously wild attacks. It's like watching a live-action RPG battle unfold right in front of you. The city of Yokohama is like a playground of crazy side quests. From managing a business empire to singing your heart out in karaoke, there's never a dull moment. And the characters? Oh man, Ichiban's gang is a motley crew of lovable misfits who'll make you laugh, cry, and cheer them on. The story's got its serious moments, but it's balanced out with some really quirky and funny stuff. Ichiban's passion to become a hero and his heart of gold make you root for him from the start. The game feels like a mix of epic drama and wacky fun.
With the right friends?
playing Yakuza like a dragon is like jumping into a crazy, heartfelt adventure where you never know what's coming next. It's got the perfect blend of epic storytelling and offbeat humor. If you're up for a game that's as wild as it is heartfelt, give it a go. You won't regret it. Disco Elysium.
You can handle it.
Let's dive into Disco Elysium, a game that's like no other. Released in 2019, this one's a real gem if you're into deep stories and complex characters. So, you're a detective who's just woken up with a massive hangover, a pile of regrets, and no memory of who you are. Welcome to Revakul, a city that's as gritty and messed up as your detective skills are rusty. You've got to piece together your past while solving a murder that's hanging over the city like a dark cloud. What makes Disco Elysium stand out is its focus on dialogue and choices. Forget about traditional combat, this game is all about talking, thinking, and making decisions. You'll be rolling dice, managing skills, and trying to make sense of a world that's as twisted as it is fascinating.
Yes, I'm going to unplug the microphone, okay?
The writing in this game is top-notch. It's like reading a really good novel filled with sharp, witty, and often darkly humorous lines. The characters you meet are rich and layered, and the story is full of surprises. The city of Revakul feels alive, with every corner revealing a new piece of the puzzle. What's also cool is how you can shape your character's personality and abilities. You can choose to be a hard-boiled detective or a more unconventional thinker. Your choices affect how the story unfolds and how the characters react to you. Playing Disco Elysium is like getting lost in a noir novel where you're the main character. The depth of the story and the unique approach to gameplay make it an unforgettable experience. If you haven't checked it out yet, dive in and get ready for a deep, engaging adventure that'll keep you thinking long after you've put the game down. Dragon Age Inquisition. So Dragon Age Inquisition is pretty epic. You play as the Inquisitor, tasked with saving the world from a massive demon invasion. The story is full of surprises and keeps you hooked with its deep lore and complex characters. The world is gorgeous, think lush forests, snowy mountains, and everything in between. It's like wandering through a beautiful fantasy novel. What's really cool is that your choices actually matter. You decide how the story unfolds and how characters react to you. It's awesome to see your decisions shape the game's world. You get to create your character with a ton of options. You can pick different classes and skills, making the combat both strategic and fun. But be warned, there's a lot to manage: skills, gear, stats, and all that. It can get a bit overwhelming if you're not into that kind of detail. Some parts of the game can feel slow, and there's a lot of talking. If you're more into action, the constant dialogue might drag a bit.
I closed that thing.
Overall, if you love deep RPGs with rich storytelling and a big world to explore, Dragon Age Inquisition is definitely worth playing. It's a grand adventure that'll keep you engaged and entertained.
Call it the breach. It grows larger with each passing hour.
Persona 5 Royal. Alright, let's dive into Persona 5 Royal. If you haven't played this one yet, get ready for a wild ride through high school life and supernatural adventures. You're playing as a high school student in Tokyo who's living a double life. By day, you're just trying to get through school, make friends, and survive your teachers. But by night, you and your group of fandom thieves are out to change the world, battling twisted, corrupted hearts in a surreal alternate realm known as the Metaverse. The story in Persona 5 Royal is a roller coaster. It's packed with drama, humor, and even a bit of romance. You'll meet all sorts of colorful characters, each with their own stories and struggles. Building relationships with them is one of the best parts of the game. Whether you're helping them out with their personal issues or just hanging out, it adds a lot of depth to the experience. The game's visual style is really striking, with a unique art direction that makes everything pop. The stylish menus, flashy combat, and vibrant characters all contribute to an unforgettable aesthetic.
How pretty!
Now let's talk gameplay. The turn-based combat is super engaging. You're not just pressing buttons randomly, you've got to think about your moves, exploit enemy weaknesses, and use your persona's magical creatures that represent different aspects of your personality strategically. It's like a strategic puzzle mixed with cool, stylish battles. One of the standout features is how Persona 5 Royal expands on the original game. You get new story elements, additional characters, and a bunch of new activities to dive into. There's even a new semester to explore, which adds extra depth to the story. But as much as I love this game, there are a few things that might not be for everyone. The game's pacing can be slow at times, and there's a lot of dialogue. If you're not into deep, story-driven games with lots of talking, it might feel a bit heavy. Also, the game is pretty long, so if you're short on time, be prepared for a lengthy commitment. Overall, Persona 5 Royal is a fantastic game if you're into rich stories, unique characters, and stylish gameplay. It's like diving into a high-energy anime with a compelling plot and lots of heart. If you enjoy games that mix everyday life with epic adventures, give this one a try. You won't be disappointed.
All yours!
Go full power! Yeah!
Here! Thanks!
Metro Exodus. Alright, let's talk about Metro Exodus, a game that's all about surviving in a post-apocalyptic world. In Metro Exodus, you play as Artyom, a guy who's been living in the underground metro tunnels of Moscow because the surface world is too dangerous, but now Artyom believes there's more out there, so he sets off on a journey across Russia to find a new place to live. This game is different because it's not just about hiding in tunnels anymore. You get to explore the outside world, and it's a mix of beautiful and dangerous. There are forests, deserts, and snowy mountains, all filled with mutated creatures and other threats. One cool thing about Metro Exodus is the story. You travel with a group of survivors on a big train called the Aurora. Along the way, you meet different characters and face tough challenges. The story is all about hope and finding a new home, and it really makes you care about the people you're traveling with. The gameplay is intense. You need to scavenge for supplies like ammo and filters for your gas mask because everything is scarce. You also have to keep your weapons in good shape and be careful about when to fight and when to sneak around enemies. The game looks amazing. The environments are detailed and show the beauty and danger of a world that's been abandoned and reclaimed by nature. The changing seasons and weather make each area feel unique and alive. One of my favorite moments in Metro Exodus is when you're traveling on the Aurora and you get to see the changing landscape. It gives you a sense of progression and hope that there's something better out there. If you're looking for a game with a gripping story, intense survival gameplay, and stunning visuals, Metro Exodus is a great choice. It's an epic journey through a dangerous but beautiful world, and it's an experience you won't forget. Give it a try and join Artyom on his quest for a new home. Outer Wilds. Alright, let's dive into Outer Wilds, a game you definitely need to play before you die. Developed by Mobius Digital and released in 2019, this game is a unique blend of exploration and mystery. You play as an astronaut exploring a tiny solar system stuck in a 22-minute time loop. Imagine waking up, popping into your spaceship, and blasting off to explore different planets. Each one is filled with its own secrets and wonders. The graphics are charming and give you a real sense of adventure. The story in Outer Wilds is revealed through your exploration. There's no hand holding you learn by doing and discovering. You're trying to uncover the mystery behind the time loop and what happened to an ancient alien civilization. The game's writing is fantastic, making every new piece of information feel rewarding and intriguing. Gameplay is all about exploration and puzzle solving. You fly your spaceship, walk around planets, and use tools like a signal scope and a translation device. The controls are intuitive, and the physics of flying your ship are realistic, making every landing and takeoff feel satisfying. What makes Outer Wilds so special is the sense of wonder and discovery. Every time loop you learn something new, bringing you closer to solving the big mystery. The game encourages curiosity and experimentation, making each playthrough feel fresh and exciting. For For me, playing Outer Wilds is like being a kid again, exploring a new world and uncovering its secrets. The story is deeply engaging and the exploration is incredibly rewarding. It's a game that makes you think and feel, leaving a lasting impression. If you haven't played Outer Wilds yet, you're in for a treat. It's a must-play for anyone who loves exploration, mystery, and a great story. Trust me, this game will take you on an unforgettable journey. Doom Eternal. Alright, let's talk about Doom Eternal, a game that's all about pure, unadulterated fun. If you love fast-paced action, intense combat, and ripping through demons, this game is an absolute blast. You step into the boots of the Doomslayer, humanity's last hope against the demonic forces of hell. The story is straightforward but engaging, full of heavy metal lore and badass moments that keep you pumped up and ready for battle. What makes Doom Eternal so much fun is its relentless pace. The combat is incredibly fast and fluid, requiring you to be constantly on the move. You've got an arsenal of devastating weapons at your disposal, from the classic shotgun and chainsaw to more futuristic firepower like the plasma rifle and BFG. Each weapon feels powerful and satisfying to use. The gameplay is all about aggression. You're encouraged to get up close and personal with the demons, using a combination of shooting, melee attacks, and glory kills to take them down. Glory kills in particular are a blast. They're brutal, over-the-top finishing moves that reward you with health and ammo, keeping you in the fight. Traversal in Doom Eternal is a game changer. The game introduces new movement mechanics like double jumps and dashes, which make navigating the battlefield a dynamic and strategic affair. You're not just running and gunning, you're leaping across platforms, swinging from bars, and dodging enemy attacks in a deadly dance of destruction. Doom Eternal also features a variety of challenges and collectibles that add to the fun. There are secret areas to discover, lore to uncover, and upgrades to find that enhance your abilities and weapons. These extras give you plenty of reasons to explore each level thoroughly. In summary, Doom Eternal is all about having fun with non-stop action and adrenaline-pumping combat. It's a game that never lets up, keeping you engaged and excited from start to finish. If you're looking for a game that delivers pure, visceral enjoyment, Doom Eternal is a must-play. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Alright, let's talk about Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, a game that's all about insane action, slicing up cyborgs, and just having a blast. If you're into over-the-top combat and a bit of craziness, this game is perfect for you. You play as Raiden, the badass cyborg ninja. Forget about sneaking around like in other Metal Gear games, this one's all about going full throttle with your high-frequency blade. The story is wild, filled with crazy villains and ridiculous plot twists that only add to the fun. The combat in Metal Gear Rising is where it really shines. You've got this katana that can slice through pretty much anything, and I mean anything. The game's blade mode lets you slow down time and cut enemies into tiny pieces. It's stupidly fun and never gets old. You feel like an absolute beast carving through enemies with style and precision. And the bosses, man, they're larger than life characters with some of the most memorable fights you'll ever play. Each one is unique, requiring you to adapt and master your skills. Plus the epic music that kicks in during these battles, absolute perfection. It gets your blood pumping and makes every fight feel epic. The visuals are slick and stylish with a futuristic vibe that's both gritty and cool. The environments might not be the most detailed, but who cares when you're zipping around at lightning speed and chopping up anything in your path? What's great about Metal Gear Rising is it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's packed with cheesy one-liners, over-the-top action sequences, and a sense of humor that keeps things light. The game knows it's ridiculous and just rolls with it, making the whole experience even more enjoyable. You've also got plenty of upgrades and new moves to unlock, keeping the gameplay fresh as you progress. Experimenting with different techniques and weapons is a blast, and it keeps you coming back for more. One of the coolest things is the game's length. It's not too long, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. You can blast through it in a weekend, but it's so damn fun you'll want to replay it and try out new things. In summary, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance is all about having a damn good time. It's fast, flashy, and doesn't hold back. If you're looking for a game that's all action all the time, with a heavy dose of style and a pinch of insanity, this is it. Horizon Forbidden West. This sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn is all about adventure, exploration, and battling massive robot creatures. In Horizon Forbidden West, you play as Aloy, a brave hunter trying to uncover the secrets of the old world. The story picks up where the first game left off, sending you to new lands full of danger and mystery. Aloy's journey is filled with twists and turns that keep you hooked from start to finish. One of the coolest things about this game is the huge, detailed world. You get to explore a variety of environments like dense jungles, sunken cities, and icy mountains. Each area is packed with things to discover, making exploration super rewarding. Whether you're climbing a towering peak or diving into an underwater ruin, there's always something amazing to find. The star of the show in Horizon Forbidden West is definitely the robot machines. These mechanical beasts come in all shapes and sizes, from small, swift watchers to gigantic, fearsome thunderjaws. Each machine has its own unique behaviors and weaknesses, which makes fighting them a real challenge. You'll need to use strategy, your bow, and a variety of gadgets to take them down. Combat is thrilling and requires you to think on your feet. You can use different types of arrows, traps, and gadgets to disable and destroy the machines. Learning how to exploit their weaknesses is key, and it's incredibly satisfying when you manage to bring down a huge, powerful robot. There's also a deep crafting and upgrade system. You can gather resources from the environment and from defeated machines to create new weapons and armor. This adds an extra layer of strategy as you decide how to best equip Aloy for the challenges ahead. Visually, the game is stunning. The world is beautifully crafted with vibrant colors and incredible attention to detail. The dynamic weather and day-night cycles make the environments feel alive. Plus, the character animations and facial expressions are top-notch, adding depth to the story and the interactions with other characters. Horizon Forbidden West isn't just about combat and exploration though. There are tons of side quests and activities to keep you busy. You'll meet interesting characters, solve ancient puzzles, and uncover hidden secrets throughout the world. These side stories are well written and add a lot to the overall experience. If you're looking for a game with a rich, immersive world and tons of content, Horizon Forbidden West is perfect. The epic battles with robot machines, the beautiful environments, and the deep story make it a game you can easily spend over 100 hours enjoying. It's a must-play for any action-adventure fan.